Alright, hey there Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here, and we are back for some more of the Persona 4 Let's Play. And in this episode, we got some pretty cool things that are going to happen to be able to learn some more neat things that are going to be going along for the story. And that is going to be, first off, is that we are going to be going into some fusions for our persona, which that is going to be awesome. And I know that during our way of the last episode, we had to go through Yukiko's castle, and we had to go and help out with Che there. And from that time, she does have her own persona at this point, so hopefully everything's going to be okay for her, because I know that during our way of Yusuke's time, when we went ahead into the TV world within our first experience, Yusuke had some after effects that happened later on, which he didn't really feel all that too well, but I don't know about with Che, because again, each different character has their own type of personality traits, so she should probably at least be somewhat fine for when we have to go and pick up with her card and see what type of special stat increase that we can be able to go and do within there. Now, within our professor here, he will be given some brand new clothing attire, and that is going to be, of course, known as the Yasso High jersey. And this is something that we can go and just wear outside when we go and do some free roaming aspects, or I think even within some battle parts as well, too. So we're just going to go and change around with our default clothing here in just in a little bit, and just so that I can kind of figure out exactly how this is supposed to work. So yeah, so armor doesn't really work with that, but yeah, so just the regular plain clothing is going to be that here for within the actual menu that's going on. Now, within the free roaming aspects, since we are going to be, of course, learning how this whole thing is going to work around with, there's going to be tons of, like, different little, like, side quirks that we can go and do. And I know that within here in just in this game alone, whenever you go and do, like, all your after-school type of stuff and everything, I know that you can't always go and always learn everything all within one day, and sometimes you have to kind of go and worry about within like another time. But now I know that there's like one thing that does actually happen where you kind of have to stay a little bit on your toes for if you do want to go and do any type of bug collecting within this game, and that is now later on, there is going to be a kid over at a shrine that, the same type of shrine that we went and walked around with, I think, during one time throughout our playthrough here. And if you ever go and head off into any of those vending machines, there's certain drinks and other things that we have to go and buy. And during that time, when you go and buy those certain drinks, you can go and pass those over and do a little bit of a trade within the kid, and you'll be able to get certain bugs that you can be able to collect. And I don't know if you'll be able to use those for like fishing purposes or something. Now, apparently there is like a fishing aspect that does happen here within this game, so we'll have to see what happens from there. And also, one other thing that you don't want to forget is, and probably I'll have to try to remember myself as well too throughout this series, is that I have to go to the bookstore and be able to buy certain books so that we can go and boost up on more of our other stats for increases, such as like the understanding and the knowledge and the diligence and all those other type of books to go and boost up, because there is going to be like certain events where if we need to go and do some sort of dialogue with it, we may probably not be able to go and take care of that. So unfortunately, right there with the text dialogue, from what I was just going on and talking about, is that we don't have a lot of courage. Now, there is a certain part that does happen, I think, in one of our past other days from beforehand, if we were able to go and do a little bit of some free roaming, and that was heading over to the to one of the special restaurants within the shopping district, and I believe if you go and check around on each of the different times of that restaurant that happens, each of one of those days will actually have something special for one of those stat increase. So if I actually did go and pick up with that courage a little bit like a while back, then I would have probably at least had that dialogue to at least go and do something within there.
Something different about you.
Now, I think during this segment right here, I think Che is going to go and try to give us her phone number that is going to be here as well, too. And there is the special card that we can go and do. Now, I believe Che does have some sort of special ability for some sort of, I guess, Chariot Arcana or something. Not really too entirely certain on what that's all about, but again, I have to do some more research along with all these different special stats that we are getting from all of our different partners that are happening along within our time here. Now, later on, throughout the story, since we are going to be getting into like more other like free roaming aspects of what we could go and do and kind of do in other parts of what's going on for other different story dialogues, we will be able to go and enter on into like different sports clubs at some point. I believe we will also get to go and do some things with Marie as well too. I believe for right now, I don't think we can really go and do anything with Marie at this point in time. I don't think here within our part of the actual story for right now. I believe that's actually something that you could go and do on April 20th, I think, of this game, or it's on like April 23rd. I can't really recall, but I know it's like somewhere around within those type of days, and you want to make sure that you go and talk to Marie, because if you go and do so, you can actually be able to get a special type of ranking like level that you could go and do with her as well too, because she'll be able to give you a special card that can be able to help you out within there. So it looks like we'll have to go and do another one of these pop quiz questions, I think, huh? I think that's what's going to be happening here. Uh-oh, let's see. So it's over to us, huh? So what are we going to do? So I believe it's going to be with Beta, right? Yes. And with that, we got that correct. So I believe our knowledge should at least be able to go up a little bit more. All right, and there we are. So pretty nice. Now, there is going to be some other segments that will happen where we kind of have to help out with Yusuke in some sort of like other pop quiz questions from here. So you want to make sure that that you also try to help out with Yusuke so that you can kind of build up your bond within out here. So yeah, so now this little tutorial dialogue is going to let you know that that there is going to be another fog that is going to be coming, but just at least be somewhat prepared for when the time does happen. You can also go and connect to the internet, and you can also do some online type of things as well too, which I think you can also get help from like other different players or things from here. Now, I'm not really too familiar with the whole internet connection issue, well, situation here within the game, so you guys can let me know on that. So yeah, so we could go and talk to Che and kind of at least head off into the area that we need to go and do, but we're not going to go and do that right now, because you know what, there's a lot of other things to go and check around with as well, and we want to make sure that we go and do that before we even go and jump into the Yukiko Castle, because you never know. Because at some point, if we go and decide to just jump right on into that, well, into that castle again, you never know what type of boss is going to be lurking with some sort of crazy type of damage attack range or something that's going to show up there. Now, yeah, so we're going to go through the fusion process. Now, there is that one little button that was there on the menu tab, and that is going to be known as the check the dwellers. Now, if you go and like hit that button there, you should be able to go and just talk to Marie, and then that's when that little side mission is going to be able to go and pop up there, and then you can be able to hang around with Marie for a little bit. Okay, so let's go and see what we got here. So we got ourselves with the Sparris. Is that what her name is? So we're gonna have to go for this one, and we have some pretty interesting moves here. We got ourselves with Patra and Daya, but the cool thing is that we can actually bring one of our other different moves from our past persona that we have, and we can implement those moves and add those into there. Now, you can only be able to take only 2 moves that from what your previous persona actually does have. So we're going to go for the ones that are going to be important to us here. So we're going to take Rakunda and then also Rakujaja. Or I think that's what the name is. Hopefully I didn't actually butcher that, because that is... Oh, and it looks like Igor's going to go and do the fusion for us here. So thank you, buddy. Now, originally, I was having my original audio here for my commentary for this episode. And for some reason, it like disappeared, and I have no idea where the heck it went. So I kind of have to reboot this whole entire post-audio recording again. So this is actually my second attempt trying to do this. I think I may have probably accidentally deleted, I think, my recording, and for some reason, it's just not there anymore. But that's okay. You know, sometimes some things happen, you know. But yeah, so let's go and finally head on out of there. So yeah, so check out the dwellers. We'll have to worry about that probably within the next day. But yeah, it does also have an expiry as well too, which I'm pretty sure the 23rd is the actual last day that you could go and talk to Marie. So make sure that you go and do that, because like if not, then you may probably not be able to go and do the whole situation right there. Okay, so looks like there's some interesting stuff there. So yeah, so here's that special restaurant, and there's the courage. So let's go and bump up on our courage there, because I know that that was something that we were kind of intended on trying to do, but unfortunately we just didn't really have the special dialogue text bubble there for cheap. Alright, and I think at some point we should be able to get that courage finally increased, so there we go. Yep, and also, by the way, you do have to go and pay for your meals. That is always something that you do want to do. Don't go and dine and dash, because that's also a problem. Okay, so Dudine was not around, so that's pretty nice. Because I know that that man is always working those long nights, right? So at least the good thing is that we can kind of go and head outside if we need to, and kind of just sneak out for a little bit. Now, I believe we could just go and head to some of these different places here. We got ourselves, like, with the shrine or the riverbank. We should still probably go and check those type of places out there for now if we needed to. But I think for right now, let's not really go and worry about jumping into too much stuff. Now, so now we're going to get ourselves with the tutorial-wise about, like, the different calendars that are happening here for the different days. I really do like the little Easter egg, though, of Persona 3, though, with the calendar there. Now, yeah, so basically what's going to happen is that if you do want to go and jump to bed, it will actually kind of give you a little bit of a warning, though, that if you do decide to just keep on jumping through and just sleep through the actual entire day without actually going and doing all the important things, you're going to miss out on quite a bit of, like, extra, like, help for your time for when you need to go and jump into the TV world.
We met at the Velvet Room the other day. There is one important point I forgot to warn you about. So I thought it best to contact you.
Yeah, so this is something that will actually happen within your time of the game. So she'll just kind of give you like a fair warning that that you shouldn't really go and try to fall asleep too quickly, because if you do, you'll miss out on a bunch of stuff that's gonna try to hopefully help you out at the very tail end of the game. So.
Quench your heart's yearnings. The bonds created through social links are another important means of strengthening the powers of your persona. Do not hasten heedlessly through your days. And remember the importance of moving at a sustainable pace. Please remember that. Well then.
Okay, so off goes Margaret from there. Yep, so now we're going to have to take that by heart. So we'll have to make sure that every time or every day that we go through, we have to make sure that we go and take care of any little side thing that's going to be happening. Well, not every single one, but at least majority of them as we can. Because again, we can't always get everything done within one day, because that's also a part of real life as well too, right? Okay, so I think this is the about the sports club stuff that we can go and do. Now, later on within the game, we are going to have to go and get ourselves with our very first of many jobs, which that is going to be as a caretaker. Now, we only have enough amount of our stats, I think, at this point to actually become a caretaker. We can't really go and do any other type of specialty job, but that's something to kind of get ourselves involved with here. But yeah, so sports club is going to be something to do that for next time. And, we're going to be meeting up with a special guy by the name of Cal, because we're going to be jumping into the basketball sports club for the next episode, which that's going to be pretty cool. So, see you guys in the next one. And of course, peace.